of reflection on why we are here. And I'm a parent as well, so you know too. I have a little girl. She turns 10 on Monday. We're going to Raging Waters after this to celebrate. So I know you have a full day following this. I've got a long one coming up. And I have a son who will be 13 this fall. So I journey with them in faith, and that helps me to be a better listener and sensitive to all the struggles that all of you go through as parents on the journey. Why are we here today? Probably not because we had nothing else to do. That would be nice, but I am sure things are coming up left and right, especially with the start of the school year, the start of the sports schedule, and everything else under the sun that could possibly be there. And as I was thinking about this too, I thought this is also not like starting up, or I hope it's not like starting up one of those other activities, sports, band, scouts. Those are beautiful, helpful activities for our kids to be involved in, and my kids are in a lot of those. But this is different. What we do here, why we come here, is different. The gifts we hope they get from a spiritual journey, from growing in the Catholic faith, for those of you that are preparing, children are preparing for sacraments, for celebrating one of our sacraments, we hope these are lifelong gifts that we're going to help them be a better human being in the end. A little different than piano lessons, although I'm a big supporter of piano lessons, right? And I was also thinking as I stood here, each of us could probably name at least one person, if not a bunch, who directly impacted us being here today. Meaning that they helped us on the journey, our journey of faith. And that's why we feel a strong call, a calling to instill that now in our children. So for just a few minutes, I'd love you to turn to someone else at your table. Probably just one other individual to make our conversation kind of quick, and share. And here's what I'd like you to share about. Share a faith-filled memory from your childhood. And if you didn't have a faith-filled childhood, then from any point in your life, don't worry about that. It could be an experience at church, or at your faith formation class, at home, in the world. Just a moment you remember where you had an experience of God's presence, or you had a sense of the beauty of the Catholic faith. You felt connected to it. So share one of those little peak moments that you remember that just stayed with you all these years. And then, can you name who was that key person? Was there someone who brought you to that moment? Was there a reason that happened? Who was the reason that happened? God, obviously, was the big reason that happened. But who else? Who was the human hands and face of God at that time? So go ahead, introduce yourself to someone there. Nearby, share for, let's say, 5 minutes on this subject. Thank you so much. So hopefully you came up with some kind of special reflections. Does anybody come up with something they hadn't thought about in years until they, until they heard the question? I was thinking about it too. I always have to have my own answer to my own question. And one of the things that came to me that I hadn't thought about in years was when I was about 10 years old, and in Mrs. Rudar's CCD class, because that's what we called it back then, she said something that stuck with me and probably has been one of the most important, little tidbits of Catholic faith I've carried till today when I'm, teaching it to other children. She connected two words I'd never heard connected before. She talked about how we are all Catholic Christians. Well, Catholic Christians, and she kind of explained that the Christian family is larger than just the Catholics, but we're absolutely part of that larger family, one of the original members too. But I had never heard that, and I definitely had people tell me, you're not Christian, you're Catholic, which is super confusing if you don't realize that, no, Christians, and we're part of that, believe in Jesus Christ as our Savior. He died for our sins. I've had people tell me I need to accept Jesus Christ as my Savior. And when I was, very easily influenced, middle school, high school, and people were telling me I hadn't done it, I thought, I feel like I have. I was baptized, and at First Communion, I'm very sure Jesus Christ is my friend and the person I'm receiving. But until someone took the time to explain to me, Christian too. I hadn't put it all together. So those moments are so influential, and those moments are the ones that stick with us and help us to be more knowledgeable, more firm, more at home in our faith. And those are moments we're trying to provide for our kids now. So we're all connected here because we are a loving caretaker of some child or children. And I know it's a mix here. I know we've got parents, grandparents, guardians, godparents, aunts, uncles, whoever. And thank you, all of you, for being the one who said this is important. And I will be on the journey with this child or these children. We're all connected in that way. And I think we're all called because someone like Mrs. Rudar, or Grandma, or our mom and dad, or priest, influenced us and helped us to understand that this Catholic faith and this practice of loving and serving and knowing God is so important to us and so deeply ingrained, we can't imagine the children in our lives going through their lives without it. And I met a parent the other day. She's coming back to the Catholic Church after about 20 years with 3 older unbaptized children. It's her and her husband, who wasn't raised in any faith. And it was really beautiful to see the pulling God was accomplishing in her, because she said, I just want them to have what I have. Even though I left the church for a while, at this moment, I know I can't imagine my children not having the gift of faith and the gift of the Catholic practice of the faith as they continue in life. So those Catholic roots are very deep and very powerful as we come together to know and love and worship God. When we become parents, we take on a responsibility we had no idea we were in store for, and luckily we do not walk that path alone. I just wanted to share this quote that I really like from a book that as a parent group we read last year, so some of you are familiar with this. To be a parent is to enter into a relationship of grace and mystery and wonder. About the only guarantee we can expect is that our God, who is a loving God, will meet us in the midst of that relationship, eager to bring us to abundant life. We're very blessed that we don't do it alone, and we would never be there if we didn't rely on our God. But we have been entrusted with our kids, and that's where this next quote puts the onus on us as parents. So this is actually from the Catechism of the Catholic Church. To you as parents, to me as a parent. Parents have the first responsibility for the education of their children. We know this. They from get-go, they learn to talk, walk, eat, good, bad. They catch whatever we give them, just like Father was saying, good, bad. But we're the main ones. They bear witness to this, so parents bear witness to this responsibility first by creating a home where tenderness, forgiveness, respect, fidelity, and disinterested service are the rule. The home is well suited for the education in the virtues. As parents, we are going to reflect the faith to them. We are going to help them to know God, to know the qualities that help us to be the best disciples of Jesus Christ, or we're not. And on any given day, I do one or the other, that's for sure. But when I mess up, I ask my children for forgiveness, and it is an important modeling that helps them understand that they also need to ask for forgiveness and forgive others. So as parents, we're on a very special, very overwhelming journey. But again, we don't do it alone. And we are here at Holy Name Mary to say we're supporting your journey. We're not doing it in place of you. We will definitely not, in the hour and 15 minutes, a few times a month, instill faith in your child. They're going to catch it from you, first and foremost. But we will absolutely support you in any way possible. And in the email I sent out, I tried to just reiterate that. We are here in every way to support you on the journey, and you might have needs that you don't even know yet. Please know to come to us. We will be there to help you, but we are our partners with you who are reflecting the faith in all the ways, in all the daily activities with your children. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to support you. We're going to go through those handouts now, and a few visuals to help you to see what those are. So here's a couple of pictures from our student sessions where kids are coming together with their catechist to grow in faith. And what I'd like to start with then is the calendar, front and back, our very colorful calendar that covers all the class dates. So, important notes that people get confused on, I want to make sure I make clear. If the box is colored in, that is a class day. If the box is white, we do not meet. You'd be surprised how many questions I get about that. So just to be clear, colored boxes, class days, right? And then there's a little key that explains what classes meet on each of those colors. So we do have some Sunday sessions. Our preschool and kinders meet on Sundays during Mass. We also have a special needs program. If you ever know anybody who might need that resource, we do offer that here at Holy Name of Mary. Most of you, though, are involved in our elementary sessions or our RCIA sessions. So that's the pink and the blue. And those are, the elementary take place Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. The times, to remind you, are listed here. And the RCA are Wednesday and the times. The times do vary a little day to day. So make sure you know the right time for the day your child is attending. And after we talk about makeups, if you're doing a makeup session, make sure you come on the right time for that day. Some people plan to do a makeup, but then they come at the wrong time, and that doesn't help us or help you. Then at the bottom, there's some special events. And this is what we get really excited about. The kids' classes are awesome, but then when we get the whole family involved, the celebration of sacraments, this is our giddy part of the year for those of us who work with your families. So many of you are in our First Communion track, so we do have some special events. Raise your hand if this is your second year of First Communion. All right, so that's about half of us. Okay, congratulations. Very exciting. And we're going to be celebrating 2 sacraments with your children, so we noted those dates. Those dates only apply to year 2 First Communion students. So that is different. If your child is unbaptized and comes to our RCIA on Wednesday, I do have some different dates for you. And all the same special events, but geared especially for our unbaptized youth. I will be in touch with an additional parent session during one of the first classes to give you those specifics. But for our First Communion students, you have, first of all, November, mark your calendars right away, a First Reconciliation parent meeting. Everything you need to know about the sacrament, because I definitely have a few parents over the years come and say, I knew about communion, what is reconciliation? So we want to answer that question in case that's not clear, or if you haven't thought about it or celebrated it in many years. We are going to help you feel comfortable, confident, ready to help your child prepare for the celebration coming up. I didn't have I have the times on the back, so that's coming up. First Reconciliation Day is January 11th. And then we offer a First Communion Parent-Child Retreat, which is super beautiful. So let me show you, I'll get up to a few other pictures as I wrap up this sheet. You come together, we all need time and space and silence and ritual to experience God. And there's just every reason to do that right before they celebrate First Communion. So we want you to do that as a family. And it's been a really fun day. We do about a 3-hour, half-a-day retreat with you and your child in preparation for First Communion. Okay, the very bottom section I don't want you to miss because this is my favorite part of the year, and that's the family events. All are welcome. All are welcome. Your whole family, first of all, is welcome, and it doesn't matter if you're in Sunday school or Discover Bible Study, you are most welcome to our family events. We also offer them in English and in Spanish, so we really hope you'll join us, and on the back now we'll review a little bit more about what we have. So let me just highlight what I've already started to mention. Year 2 Communion special events. The dates were noted on the front, the details on the back. So again, if your student is preparing for First Communion, second year in our program, or they transferred and it is their second year in preparation, please note these dates and times, and I'll be reminding you as each day gets a little closer. The one date I can't give you and I had hoped to give you was the official dates of First Communion. I had picked 2 Saturdays in May. I'm planning on 6 Masses on those 2 Saturdays. And then I saw yesterday that we asked the bishop for the same 2 Saturdays for confirmation. Yes, so we can't do that because there's about 150 kids being confirmed too. So now we are waiting, and usually by November we know on the bishop to say, I'm coming this day. And then we work around. The bishop obviously gets priority over me on the church calendar here. So as soon as I know the confirmation date, I will finalize the First Communion dates. and I'll assign the entire class to one of my masses on a Saturday in May. But I don't want to say anything's official yet because I don't want to change it on you and have plans in place. By November, I should have official, and I'll give you that right away. The big long column, the family faith events. So we have done this for a few years now. They are super fun. Who here has actually gone to one of our family faith events? Okay, good, yay. So every year is different, and that's a fun, creative challenge for those of us in charge. And I'm trying now to get to once a month. I used to offer 3 times a year, as much as I could every other month. Now we're trying to get closer to once a month and make them on days I hope work for your family, or at least a few or one of them works for your family. The red boxes are our English faith formation events. If your family is primarily Spanish speaking, you are so welcome to attend the ones in yellow. Those are the family faith events in Spanish. Absolutely, absolutely. But let me know so I'll be advertising the English ones heavily. The Spanish ones, I will give your information to Erica, and she'll let you know more about those as they get closer. This year we're going to learn the Beatitudes. We hear those beautiful blessings preached by Jesus on All Saints' Day. What do they mean? And what do they mean in our lives now? So we're going to do a Beatitudes event in October. We have the Sisters of the Sacred Heart coming back. They did a family day retreat. This is one of their ministries. They do family retreats. They do weekend ones, they do summer ones. Now we're asking, can they come and do one with our families here in the parish? And they are saying yes for the second year. We really hope you'll consider joining us in November when we have a special sister-led retreat on November 16th. We're going to learn what the Jesse tree is, and I have to admit, I'm excited because I don't really know much about it, but we're going to do an event where we create our own Jesse tree, learning about Jesus's family tree in December. And then the final 3 are actually ones we've done before, and they've just been so beautiful, we'd like to continue to do them, so you may have been involved in these. We have a winter shelter service day when we are hosting our homeless population, where the kids can come and help create lunches and art for our guests here to make them feel more welcome, and help kids learn a little bit about those in need. And then on Holy Week is just one beautiful celebration of who we are as Catholics. So we'll have a special event on Holy Thursday. I was so excited to create this last year, and it was really fun. We had the supper before the Last Supper, potluck. And then we all went to church to actually experience that Mass of the Lord's Supper. And on Good Friday, we always have a very large, very beautiful soup night in here. You all will be providing the soup. I will let you know when that happens. And we'll share a fellowship and a meal, and then we'll go to the church to actually witness the teens helping us remember Jesus' last moments on earth. So I do ask all families in the first or second year of sacrament preparations, be our communion students, year 1 and 2, and our RCIA students, year 1 and 2, please prioritize attending at least one. At least one. You can come to all of them. I have no issue with that, but at least one. Everyone is welcome, though. Everyone is welcome. And so please, feel free to attend what you can. But for those of you in the sacrament preparation route, please make sure you mark your calendars. And as soon as you see, what I'll do is email a electronic RSVP form with a link. Please let me know right away, especially if that is the only one you can make. Respond right away. We usually can accommodate most people, but I have occasionally filled the hall, and I don't want anybody to get left out if that's the one they really want to go to. So RSVP quickly for the family event of your choice once you see my invitation. Any questions on anything on the calendar at this point? All right, and then just a quick slideshow to kind of make this a little bit more visible to us. So those are student sessions, some of our little ones, some of our older ones coming together to learn about the faith during our student classes. These are some of those family faith events. So last year, I included the ones from last year. We had a saint night. We were lucky enough to get some saints to join us here in the hall. What are the chances, right? Down from heaven, just for that one night only, and the kids got to interview a saint. We had saintly snacks. We played Saint Go Fish, where if you didn't have a saint, you had to say Go Pray. We made a little craft. These happy families creating our craft. So that was our Saint Day family event last year. This is when the sisters came. I just love the sisters. They're just so sweet and happy. So they came and welcomed our family and divided into different groups and helped us to grow closer to God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And it was a really beautiful day, our family day retreat. And then this was unique. This was a little bit more planning than I first realized, but it was so worth it. So we had a wedding here in the hall, a wedding at Cana, where we went back in time to experience Jesus' first miracle. And we had an entire cast of youth depicting, that's Jesus right there, with those happy kids standing around. We actually got to see that the wine steward just praising the amazing wine that had been kept till the very end of the feast, the water that had been changed into wine by Jesus. It was really a fun afternoon, and we'll definitely try to do more of those in the future. So that was our wedding at Cana family event. First communion retreat, so again, where the parents and child come together, and we do a number of activities to help them enter more deeply into what the sacrament they're about to receive is. And we had me going around asking questions. We also played Eucharist Jeopardy! These family, they were hotly competitive. It was really fun, but we all learned a little bit more about the Eucharist during our big Jeopardy! Match here. And then, of course, the celebrations of the sacraments are there. These are two of my favorite kiddos receiving sacraments. That's my son, Anthony, on his first reconciliation day, and my daughter, Ella, on her first communion day. All right, so, any other questions? Any questions? Yes, go ahead. Great question. Do both parents have to come to the retreat? No. I understand that that's not always possible. And on a day like that, it's more parent-child, not the whole family. We want that you'd be able to focus on one family. So if a parent has to work or has to be home with other children, we completely understand. I'm even flexible enough if it's a grandparent and a child. If it needs to be another loving, caring person in their lives that brings them, we will accommodate. We just want someone on that faith journey with them to be present for our special events. Great question. Yes?
So in regards to the one event per year rule, is that one calendar year?
So this year. So this year from starting in September to April, we want you to attend one of the events on the back. We re-register for year 2, if you're year 1, year 2, in the summer, and you'll be asked to attend one more in 2020, 2021. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me continue to the next handout. Oh, no, you know what? There was one thing on the back I didn't cover, and I will do that now, which is an additional handout. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, and finally, this is the year we're going to do it. So I've gone to these religious ed conferences, and they have this thing called Mass Transit Cards, referring, of course, to our Catholic Mass. And I thought, what a beautiful way to think a little more deeply about what you experience at the Mass. So this year, we're going to invite all of you to use the Mass Transit Cards. And I gave you the one for the final Sunday of the month, and this is your first opportunity to use it. Okay, so it's not tomorrow, but the final Sunday of the month, right before classes begin. So what is this? This is just an opportunity for you, as a person, again, journeying with your child, helping them grow in faith, and helping them to attend, appreciate, and get more comfortable at Mass. This is a resource for you to make that happen. One of the most important things you do as parents on the journey to sacraments is attend Mass. One of the most important things is you attend Mass. Is that always easy? No. I have 2 children. I've been to Mass with kids. I know the issues. Is it always possible? No. And don't worry about that. Go to Mass as frequently as your family can. But again, what we reflect to our children is our priorities. And so when we go to Mass, we say, spending time with God every week is very important to us. Being a part of a worshiping community is very important to us. I tried to ask my son, my almost 13-year-old, why do you, I'm going to meet with a bunch of parents, why do you think we go to Mass? And of course he said, because I made him, which isn't helpful at all. But then I said, but would you rather not go to Mass? And I, well, no. So whatever it is, okay, so he couldn't answer the question. It's good. I think that's what I got from him at the end. Not going to Mass is bad, but it is him. It is our family. It is our tradition. And I know because we do that, because we experience Jesus here at church, he has a relationship with Jesus. So we struggle through, we make it happen, and I hope this is a good resource. And it's meant to be on the go. So the front part, you'd actually have someone read right before you leave for Mass, or even in the car on the way to Mass. And it's just lets you know what the readings are, has a little quote, and some reflections, and a question. So when they go, you can have them, you can invite them, listen really closely, and see if you can hear the message we heard on the way to Mass. So again, not extra time, not extra assignment, on the way, Mass transit, on the way to Mass. When you leave the Mass, it gives you an opportunity to talk about it. What did they see? What Mass did you go? What color did you see on the priest? What did you hear the priest say? We have our kids actually listen to the homily. It'd be very interesting to see what stands out for them. But I have had kids that come and say, I love when Father Rich said this. So we challenge them to do that. And did you notice something special? Even if it was like the old person behind you who shook your hand, that can be the special moment for them at Mass. And then very important, family name. And I actually would also invite you to put your phone number, name and phone number on this. Because what we're going to do is invite you, after you fill out a Mass transit card, you'll get them every week the children come to class. We'll have a little collection then. And we'll collect them for the month. And then at the end of the month, we'll do a drawing. For everyone who turned in one of these, we'll do a drawing and you'll get some fabulous Catholic-themed prize to be determined. But I have some really good ideas. So you want to be a part of that raffle, and you can turn it in every Sunday, every week that you go, so you can have multiple chances to win. We are not taking attendance at Mass. If you can't do it and you don't turn one in, we understand. But just another way to kind of encourage, get the kids excited, and let them know that, let them spend time reflecting on the Mass and have a chance to be a part of that special drawing at the end of the month. Did I see a question in the back? Yeah. It would be nice to have the children, but of course if you need to write it on their behalf, that'd be great. Or you can, if you have a couple children, maybe 1 week, one child is the one who really answers it, and the next week it could be a different child, yeah. So the other one, the ones on the back, yeah. Or, I don't mind if both children turn one in. More chances for your family to win. Fabulous prizes. So yeah, so anyways, we really hope that this will be a fun, engaging way for your family to attend Mass and get excited about it. And at any point you have any questions, but do look for these. There'll be a stack of them at sign in, sign out in your child's class each week for the upcoming Sunday so that they can participate in our program, our Mass Transit program. All right, so the last big handout that you had in the back was the blue form. This is pretty much everything else you needed to know about our programs that I wanted to put in your hands, including, of course, my contact information. And I also want to introduce Erica. Erica, can you wave at everyone in the back? You've probably seen her smiling face at our reception desk. Erica is amazing. She is the assistant for our English program and in charge of our Spanish program. So a lot of work, a lot of hats, and she does it with grace and beauty. But both of our contact information is on here. Any point you need to reach us, please reach out, and you'll find us on here. I do use Remind. I don't always use it as much as I should. I keep telling you, this will be the year. So this will be the year that I try to use Remind a little bit more effectively, but I'm sure many of you have heard of it. Your children's school, I did like 6 Remind from middle school. So if you'd like to sign up for the Holy Name of Mary Remind, instructions are on the front, and please join my group. All right, and then that's how I'll shoot you a quick text, special last minute assignments, or changes, I should say. Reminders about special events coming up. Please, a lot of times I just say, please check your email, because I send out emails that are more, that I couldn't get everything into a text. So I text you to reach your email, and then you can get all the wonderful information that I'm sending you. On the back, I do policy. So we do ask to please not be absent more than twice. We only have 17 classes and a generous makeup policy. So I'll go over that next. But if you do, of course, if your kid is sick and they're sick all week, they stay home, no worries. I would just invite you always to go and talk to their teacher when you get back, because they did miss something. They missed some concept of our Catholic faith, and we'd rather they not. And the teachers are always happy to work with you and say, okay, here's what we covered, and they can loan you the book, they can share out the chapter, you can continue the faith learning at home. So I'd always encourage you to cover what was missed if your child misses. That being said, though, we do have the makeup option. So this is very popular among our parents, and we're happy we can do it. And the teachers are very accommodating and beautiful. If you can't make it on the regular day your child is assigned, you can go on one of the other alternate days. So we offer the same classes on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And if they choose to, if they are on Monday, sick, can't make it, dental appointment, can change it, they could come on Tuesday or Thursday, and they'll get the same material. I keep all my teachers on the same track, and they won't miss it, and that will not count as an absence. If you do make up, you do have to come to the office. We're going to give you like a little ticket to class to let the teacher know and keep for our own records that you are doing a makeup. You are in a class that's not typically yours. And you're still going to add your child to, there's a sign-in sheet for every class. Every day. So you'll add your child, handwrite your child's name at the bottom, and sign them in and out so that they are included on that sign-in sheet, even though it's not printed like the regular class names are. Perfect. A couple other notes on this. The Discover Bible Study. Some of you are involved in that, and just so you all know what that is. After First Communion, there is a gap in sacrament preparation. So if you receive First Communion, let's say 2nd or 3rd grade, there's no sacrament preparation till high school in confirmation. And we absolutely don't want you to take a 6-year break between knowing God as a 2nd grader and then knowing God as a high schooler. So we offer something every year, and we try to make it bigger and beautiful all the time. We have an older elementary program. It's Discover Bible Study for those who want to just grow in faith, but they're not preparing for a sacrament. We have an Edge Middle School program, and we also have a Life Teen High School program. Those are all just to grow in faith at the different levels. So just so you know, those exist. We encourage you at any point to be involved. My Discover Bible Study is only being offered Monday, Tuesday this year. So just in case that is the program you're in, I can't do a makeup on Thursday. I didn't have quite enough kids to include a Thursday version of that. And then for RCIA, that's the Wednesday class. That's only offered Wednesday. So RCIA students, we don't have a makeup option, unfortunately. But again, we will work with you so you can work with your child at home. So please don't feel, if your child's absent, they just don't learn about the Holy Spirit. We'd like you to cover that at home, absolutely. So those were a couple of the kind of special notes on makeups. Arrival and dismissal, so you've heard me say it, please sign in and out your child. You will have to walk them to each child to their individual classroom. And they can arrive up to 10 minutes early and try to be on time, a little earlier on time. They should wait until a teacher is present, so don't sign them in and leave them in a classroom alone, but the teachers are trying to get there 20 minutes early, so their goal is to be there to meet you, to welcome you, and help you assign your child in. And we do want all students picked up, I'm going to say by an adult or a mature teen. I do have a lot of people like their older teen is driving, that's fine, they can be signed in and out by an older sibling. What I don't want is children picking up children. That doesn't always work out, so I don't want your, 5th grader coming to get your 2nd grader. It does need to be somebody who's responsible enough that the teacher feels safe releasing the child to that individual. And one thing that I do want to add that'll be new, I'm trying to envision still how I'll do it exactly, but our teachers always ask, how do I know that the person picking up the child is the right person, is the person that's supposed to be picking up the child? So we're going to add either directly on the sign-in sheet or right next to the sign-in sheet, an area where if you're not the pickup person that day, you can note who will be. So if you're not the pickup person, you dropped them off, but you can't come back, grandma's coming back, you'll write their name next to the child's name, so that way they don't have to come to the emergency sheet and double check. They have your permission right there to release the child to an individual that they didn't see at drop-off. Does that make sense? That'll really help us keep it safe as possible, so just make a note to make sure to fill that out each time if the pickup person is not you. All right. Any special arrangements? If there's someone not allowed to pick up your child due to custodial arrangements, please notify me. I will talk directly to the catechist. We'll make it clear we're all on the same page. You should talk to the catechist too, just to be sure there's no misunderstandings in those special circumstances. And we don't encourage you to come early, but if you absolutely have to, we will accommodate. Just come to the office to pick up, to sign out your child if you're coming more than a few minutes early to pick them up, and then we will go and hopefully quietly, discreetly pull them out of class, walk them to the office, and you will depart from there. All right, so for early pickup, we dismiss from the office. All right, and then the last thing, it's not a big concern, but we do want you to know, I instruct my catechists in this, have a progressive discipline policy if there are issues. And the most important thing is we'll work with you, right? If there's anything where it's not working out or there's concerns, we know every child's situation is different and they're coming off a long day. So the first thing we try to do is keep class size small, a lot of volunteers, and a lot of fun activities. But if there is a discipline issue, we'll give a warning to the child. If it continues and the teacher can't quite address it, then we'll have the child come to the office, and Erica and I have a very loving, very prayerful talk with them about their behavior. If we see them in the office more than a couple times, or more than once, then we will contact you to talk about strategies to help your child have the best experience possible. Any questions on anything on the blue sheet? Yes, please. Is it the November Family Day retreat, or the March 14th, the First Communion Parent-Child retreat will be here in the hall. I didn't give the specific times yet, but I can tell you there's one that's all morning. It's like 9:30 to noon, and there's one this afternoon, like 1:30 to 4. So what I do actually, so it's a half a day, to answer your questions, half a day. I do split the alphabet, and I just haven't figured out the exact split yet, so I didn't want to assign it quite yet. I'll have the first half of the alphabet come in the morning, the second half in the afternoon, and then I'll say, if that doesn't work for you, just let me know. I just try to split the group in half, and then if you cannot make the afternoon, but you can make the morning, you let me know, I switch you, we accommodate, not a problem. But that's the length of the retreats, they're half days. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. Okay, so once I got these all printed, I came up with a few other notes, so let me just make sure I didn't miss anything that I thought would be good for you to know. Okay, I did want to let you know, for the first week of class, I am asking no makeups. And I'm sorry about that, but there are a few very important reasons why. So the first week of class, no makeups. That's the day we make sure every kid is in the right class. So it gets very confusing if somebody's coming from another day and they're not on the class list. Because some kids are on the right day, but went to the wrong room. So we also, we write their names on the book. We create like little nameplates for their spot. We do everything that kind of gets the class started and comfortable and getting to know each other. And when we have kids that's not their regular class, it's just too confusing the first day. I don't mind starting the second day though. Makeups are allowed after that. So my request is, and I know there are conflicts, soccer season's in full swing. I know, you've told me, and it is conflicts, and I do appreciate that. But if for the first day only, they can make their regular day, that is a beautiful start to our year, and we really want that to be how they begin. All right, so no makeups the first day. They can begin after that. Please try to have your child attend on their regular scheduled day on day 1. All right. Many children will receive a textbook, and I am just going to let you know we're going to keep those textbooks in the classroom. I've told the teachers, if there's a tear-out page, send that home. It's wonderful for families to know what we talked about. But if we send the whole textbook home, that is one more responsibility for you to remember to bring it back and forth and have it in the car, in the right day. So we're going to take that off to you. It's more challenging than worth it. That being said, there's one group, though, our Year 2 communion students, who are in 2nd and 3rd grade. They don't really get a textbook, they get a Bible. It's a beautiful Bible, and I really hope you'll open it at home and spend some time exploring it. When I got it, I went through all the little featured, illustrated stories with my 2nd grader. Awesome Bible. It's the Catholic Children's Bible from St. Mary's Press. That will go home. We don't want to keep your kids' Bible all year. That doesn't help you to explore the Bible with them. So they'll get a Bible and a backpack. It will be that easy. They'll get a backpack to bring the Bible home in. That you do need to bring back and forth. So if your child's program involves the Bible and backpack, please do bring that to each session. That's also true of Discover Bible Study. You will have a Bible, either you have it at home or you purchased one new from us, and that will come back and forth to each class. That's the one book that I think is very important to have at home between sessions. All right. This is a courtesy note from our teachers, a request for all of you. Please have your children use the bathroom before they start classes. They are not very long classes, hour and 15 minutes, and you'd be amazed at how many bathroom trips we have to take. So if they, just like if you're sending them to school, you don't send them needing to go. Please make sure they get a chance to go to the bathroom prior to class. All our classes on weeknights are around dinner time, which is hard to avoid. We can't do it too early, we run into school schedules. We can't do it too late, we run into bedtime schedules. So we're right at that time where everyone's hungry. So please, if possible, provide a small snack so your child's not hangry and having a hard day because they didn't eat anything before they got there. So between school and faith formation, just a small snack goes a long way to having your child have the best experience possible. Some of our teachers will occasionally do snacks, but it's not built into the program. They won't necessarily do it all the time. We don't have long sessions. Snacks also take time, so usually it's more like a special treat or maybe a party day, but not a weekly thing. So again, as parents, that would be a wonderful help to us. And I'm mentioning all these volunteers just so you know who they are. I have, at this point, 83 helpers supervising our different children's programs, which is awesome. We were able to keep our class size for the most part very small, many times between 10 and 13 kids. We can really talk to the kids in the time we have with them. These teachers that went through a pretty strenuous process. I have a few in here and they're like, yeah, no, I know, it's a lot. They had to meet with me. I needed to do a little interview with them. They had to fill out a written application. I'm checking references. They were fingerprinted. They attended a 3-hour child abuse prevention workshop. They really love God because they were willing to do all these hoops to come and teach your children. So just so you know, we screen our volunteers. That's an important part of the process, and they are really gifting their faith and their love of children to your family. So thank them and let them know how you appreciate them. And I think I did mention again, we do have Spanish options, so at any point, your child prefers to come to class in English, perfect, but you, bigger events that involve the family, you prefer in Spanish. We are happy to work with you. So we have Spanish family events, we have a Spanish First Communion Mass. So even if your child attends all the program in English, but the Mass, it would be most meaningful for you and your extended family for it to be Spanish Mass, no problem. You will just need to notify us because we'll assign you to an English Mass until we hear otherwise, and then we're happy to accommodate changes based on language preference. Absolutely. Okay, we are on the wrap-up, but I have one quick pitch to my biggest group of potential volunteers here in the room. So I didn't put these at the back, I did put them on the table because I know for some of you this just isn't a possibility, but for some of you, I hope it's a really wonderful possibility and you're excited to consider it. So last year we did offer once a month parent groups, and it was small because we were doing it during class time, and not all parents are available during class time. And we understand and wish we could do more, but we've got our limited space of time. However, we do want to continue that, but I don't yet have the volunteers in place to lead the group. I have a wonderful program called Family Matters that is parent discussion sessions with some of the topics were when kids ask you tough questions, the child in the pew, teaching your children generosity. So I think these would be awesome chances to come together as a faith sharing group, a small faith sharing group. I'm thinking of holding these parent sessions once or twice a month. So on this yellow form, I need to know one of two things. If you are available at your child's class time and you think you might be interested once or twice a month to come to our parent group, let me know. That will let me know, how big a space do I need, how many interested people. I'll shoot it out to everyone in the end, but if you have any inkling that this might be something you feel could really feed your faith, which is going to help you feed your child's faith, please fill out and mark you're interested in possibly attending. I will not come back at you and be like, you said you were going to come. No, you can just put it here as a maybe. I'm fine with that. But it gives me some idea of how many people could even make that time, because it is during a 4:15 or 5:30 class. Okay, second box, super important. God is speaking to some of you right now. I can feel it. Would you be willing to help facilitate the group with a completely planned out, ready to go, in your hand lesson plan or small group sharing plan? Do not need to be don't need a master's in theology, don't need to be like, halfway on the way to sainthood. Just someone who is a loving parent or grandparent and wants to help make this possible. I did not get my same volunteers back from last year, and really it makes more sense that the parents in the program are the parents leading the program, the parent sessions. So if you would, again, not signing in blood, if you would even consider it, want to know more, I think I even phrased it so it wouldn't be so scary, would like to know more about being a facilitator, then please mark that, and then of course give me all your contact information and the day or days that your children will be here. We really hope, we won't do it right away, it's not on the calendar yet, because I need to find who's interested, I need to find the facilitator. And that could be a shared job too. Two parents could alternate who does it or work together. I'm fine with that. But I'm just going to put that invitation out there, put it on your heart. Holy Spirit does the rest. But we hope that many of you will consider coming, and we hope a few of you might even be willing to be the voice who leads it. I know public speaking is like one of the greatest fears we have. I'll tell you, I was so shy as a child. I wouldn't answer the phone. That's how shy I was. And God kept going, no, Melanie, that's not going to work. You're going to have to get up there. Now I'm on the microphone more often than not. So you got to challenge yourself to get over that. Know that God gave you gifts, and you got to share them. So I hope some of you will consider the invitation. There's yellow sheets on all of the tables and pens in the back if you don't have. Please leave that sheet with me, or on the back with us as you depart if you fill it out. Okay, last but not least, as we depart, you're going to leave the sheet and take your handouts with you. As you depart, I'm going to invite you to do two things. We have posted now all of our class lists in the back. So you are able to go and see first that your child, it'll confirm what day your child is registered and what classroom and group they are with. And then it'll also give you a room number on there. And so after you figure out where your child will be meeting, then I'd like you to go and find the room so you know where you are going on that first day, no mysteries. So just to give you a little preview, so they are, I think, ordered, we've got Monday, is that Thursday? A Tuesday? Okay, I can't see. Okay, that makes way more sense. Wednesday, Thursday. so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the back. I also have them organized by year 1, year 2, or the POST, the Discover Bible Study for kids who've made First Communion. So you should be able to narrow it down. On the sheet, you will see it'll say year 1, grade 1 and 2, or year 1, grade 3 to 5. I do mix the ages appropriately just so we can easily figure out class makeup each year. So a couple things, if your child is on the day you didn't expect them to be, come talk to me. This is the time we can fix the things that are not right and we'll make accommodations. If your child is in a class that says grade 4 to 6, year 2, and they're first grade, tell me that was obviously an error. We want to fix that before the first day. But if everything looks good, then you can go ahead and note the room number and go and find those rooms. I won't write that, but I lost it. The final thing is, where are the rooms? So the majority of our classrooms, when you head out the hall and go towards the parking lot, you'll pass a gate to our Faith Formation Courtyard. That's rooms 201 through 207. So that gate hopefully is unlocked and open, and you can go and explore and find the correct room for your child there. There are 3 additional rooms. All the rooms we use at this time are in the hall, or are in the hall building. So those rooms over there, and then there are actually 2 in the hall itself. They're invisible right now, but during class sessions they will be up. So there are movable walls that create a room here and here in the back. We call them the cube rooms because they look like big cubes. But that's 102 is this corner here. 103, I think, is this corner here. And the doors, if you go out and actually look at the doors right next to them, it will have those room numbers there too. And then the final room, I think it's officially called 104, but we call it the Damien room. That's the room right here on this side of the hall. There is an entrance right here, but we will actually have you enter from the exterior door. So to find the Damien room, you head out the hall and go to your right. Just keep walking around the building until you hit a door that will say Damien room. So make sure to find the correct room so you're comfortable and confident. You know where you're going on the first day. Okay. I think that's it. Any final questions? Anything I didn't cover? Thank you. Great question, absolutely. So if you have, let's say, a baby in tow or a toddler and you still would like to do the parent face sharing group, absolutely. We always accommodate. And I have little toys, I have coloring. We would try to make it possible to kind of help you entertain your small child and still be present. So please don't have that be a deterrent. We want to be very family friendly in anything we offer. Great question. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you again, all of you, for being here. God bless you for this journey, and I will be keeping you in prayer as we get closer and closer. First day of classes, the week of September 30th, so we will see you back very soon, and have a beautiful rest of your day. See me if you have any questions about the class list as you wrap up.